Hi everyone, it's me. Um, Yesterday, today I just realized I got lots of views. Not lots of views, but like somewhat of views, and a like and a comment on my last video, and I'm really happy about that. So the book that we're gonna read again is Lord of the Flies. And I'm reading this because, some people are not able to buy it where they live, or they just can't buy it, or maybe they don't have a phone. Wait, no, that's stupid. Maybe they just can't read this at all. So I'm reading it for you. And I'm sorry if I cannot pronounce it right. I pronounce a lot of things wrong. Anyways, we're still on chapter 1, by the way. Well, no. Chapter 1. This time, the shell. We're reading 9 to 10. Okay. Page 10. He hesitated for a moment, then spoke again. What's your name? Ralph. Ralph. The fat boy waited to be asked his name in turn, but this proffer of acquaintance was not made. The fair boy called Ralph, smiled vaguely. I can't pronounce that word, I'm sorry. Vaguely, whatever. Stood up and began to make his way once more toward the lagoon. The fat boy hung steadily at his shoulder. I expect there's a lot more of us scattered around. You haven't seen any others, have you? Ralph shook his head and increased his speed. And then he tripped over a branch and came down with a crash. The fat boy stood by him, breathing hard. My auntie told me not to run, he explained. On account of my asthma. Asthma? I'm sorry. Asthma. That's right. Can't catch my breath. I was the only boy in our school that had asthma, said the fat boy with a touch of pride. And I've been wearing specs since I was 3. He took off his glasses and held them out to Ralph, blinking and smiling, and then started to wipe them against his grubby windbreaker. An expression of pain and inward concentration altered the pale counters of his face. He smeared the sweat from his cheek and quickly adjusted the spectacles from his nose. Them fruit. He glanced around the scar. Them fruit, he said. I expect. He put on his glasses, waded away from Ralph, and crouched down among the tangled foliage. Again. I'll be out again in just a minute. Ralph disentangled himself cautiously and stole away, through the branches. In a few seconds, the fat boy's grunts were behind him, and he was hurrying toward the screen that still lay between him and the lagoon. He climbed over a broken trunk and was out of the jungle. The shore was fledged with palm trees. These stood or leaned or reclined against the light, and their green feathers were 100 feet up in the air. The ground beneath them was a bank covered with coarse grass, torn everywhere by the upheavals of fallen trees, scattered with decaying coconuts and palm saplings. Behind this was the darkness of the forest proper and the open space of the scar. Ralph stood one hand against a gray trunk and scar. And screwed up his eyes against the shimmering water. Out there, perhaps a mile away, the white surf flinked on a coral reef, and beyond that the open sea was dark blue. Within the irregular arc of coral, the lagoon was still as a mountain lake, blue of all shades, shadowy green and purple. The beach between the palm turrets in the water was thin stick, endless apparently, for to Ralph's left of the perspectives of palm and beach and water drew to a point at infinity, and always almost visible was the heat. He jumped down from the terrace, and the sand was thick over his black shoes, and the heat hit him. He became curious of the weight of clothes, kicked his shoes off fiercely, and ripped off each stocking with its elastic garter in a single movement. Then he leaped back on the terrace, pulled off his shirt, and stood there among the skull like coconuts, with green shadows from the palms and the forest sliding over his skin. He undid the clasp, snake clasp of his belt, lunged lunged off his shorts and pants, and stood there naked, looking at looking at the dazzling beach and water. He was old enough, 12 years and a few months, to have lost the I'm sorry, I can't pronounce the word. Prominent tummy of a childhood, and not yet old enough for, oh my god, not old enough for adolences, I think that's it, to have made with him, to have made him awkward. With and heaviness of the shoulders went. Awkward. Let me read this real quick. To have him made awkward. You could see now that he might make a boxer as far as width and heaviness of his shoulders went, and there was a mildness about his mouth and eyes that proclaimed no devil. He patted the palm trunk softly and forced at least to believe in the reality of this island, laughed delightedly again, and stood on his head. He turned neatly to his feet, jumped down from the beach, and knelt and swept a double armful of sand into a pile against his chest. Then he sat back and looked at the water with bright I'm so sorry. Then he sat back and looked at the water with bright, excited eyes. Ralph, the fat boy, lowered himself over the terrace and sat down carefully, using the edge as a seat. I'm sorry I've been such a time. Them fruit. He wiped his glasses against them on his button nose. Alright. That's what it is. I'll read you guys page 11 and 12 tomorrow. Have a great day and stay safe.